Alright, crapshoot. I got a new camera. Look at that. We got the... Ooh, let's wait. There. Yeah, whatever. We're off to a great start. Anyway guys, this is my FujiFilm GA645zi medium format camera. I got it for a sick deal on Craigslist mainly because the LCD screen on the back wasn't working properly, but hey, fuck it, who cares? As I was going downtown to get the camera though, this happened. Yeah, next stop. Hey guys. Go for it, guy. Yeah.
Not funny. Didn't laugh.
So anyway, this is my first medium format camera. I do have another one on the shelf, but I've never shot with it. I've actually never shot 120 film before. This is a totally new experience for me. So I've never actually loaded film on one of these before, so I figured I'd record this part of the process and see what happens. So just twist this little knob here. I already moved the spool over to the other thing. There we go. Struggle bus, huh? Am I right? Yo, my phone is just blowing up. Like, just go away. I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm talking to my YouTube friends. I think that's the start. I don't fucking know. Well, that sounded like something happened. I guess we'll see. Now, if you guys have been hanging out with me for a while, you know that music is really important to me. I mean, come on, have you heard the intro jingles to my videos? This is not when I can get to it. Nobody gives a fuck. That's me singing. So the same day I picked up this camera, there was a local show going on right in my neighborhood with my good friends Enziguri playing. They're a hardcore punk band. I think, Davey, don't hate me if I misgenred you. I thought it would be really cool to take the camera out, test it out, figure it out over there, and shoot in Tri-X400, just a simple black and white. I feel like the high contrast black and white stuff will be really cool to give like an older 80s, 90s punk vibe to the shoot. So for this crap shoot, I decided to mount my cell phone on top of the Fujifilm just to get like a first person POV shot style thing, just to kind of walk you through the shots. I brought 2 rolls of Tri-X400 with me, and unfortunately I was developing them both myself. I completely ruined the first roll. So these first shots, unfortunately, I'm not gonna really be able to walk you through, and I could only wonder what they looked like. I guess that's not entirely true. A couple of them did partially develop with the negatives like sticking to himself, so there's a lot of white spots and blank spots on the negatives. Also, this wasn't Enziguri playing at the time, this was actually Cry Havoc, I believe. But yeah, either way, the negatives are kind of fucked, and big sad. But hey, that's what Crapshoot's all about. It's about figuring this stuff out together, and you guys joining me on the ride. So let's move on from our terrible mistakes. So with that in mind, I very confidently loaded the second roll of film in there. And I was on my way to shoot the rest of the set. So let's go. I've been taking photos of live bands for a pretty long time, not saying I'm a pro like I'm a Megan Choi or anything. By the way, check her out on Instagram. Her live music work is just bananas. She's by far my favorite live music / concert photographer. Go check her out, she's awesome. There's not exactly a science for the way that I shoot live music, it's just I look for moments. That sounded so pretentious, it's not even funny. But there's really not a better way to put it. I look for that crowd interaction with the singer. I look for those impressive moments where the guitar player is doing something crazy or the drummer looks like he's hitting those cymbals really hard. Now, if I was shooting on digital, I would be firing off as many shots as I could trying to get those opportune moments, but with a roll of film like this, I only had 16 shots, so I had to use them very carefully. And taking my lessons from the Polaroid Spectra video, I don't want to miss anything cool, so I slowed down a little bit. I gotta say, after the handful of shots that I've taken, I love the way this camera feels. It's just got such a great ergonomics. It feels perfect in the hands. The weird thing about it though is that the viewfinder is actually by default oriented to portrait mode. So holding it like you would normally hold a camera and you'd see landscape, it's actually portrait and you have to hold the camera in portrait mode to shoot a landscape. That's kind of weird. Also, the camera is just like, it's loud, it's got a lot of like winding, whirring, gear turning sounds, but apart from that, it's wonderful. It's a lovely camera. I feel like at the start of this roll, the photos were taking themselves for me because Davey's just such a charismatic frontman for the band. He was just getting the audience to come right up to the stage. The energy was just awesome. And hey, it wouldn't be a crapshoot if I didn't take a photo that made me want to end it all, so here it is. Sorry about that. So at the beginning of this roll, I was down in the pit with everybody else, and then I decided to go up on the stage to get closer into the action. Now this should go without saying, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I've been going to these shows since I was like 16 years old, so that's kind of a long time. What I'm saying is, don't just take it upon yourself to go on the stage or go in whatever area, especially if you're in a venue that you've never been to before. Make sure you're respectful of the musicians and the owners of the venue. That said though, the stage is usually the spot where you can get the most intimate portrait of the drummer, and I don't have to tell you drummers out there, you don't get that often. I care about you guys, don't think otherwise. So I went up on the stage and my brain was like, drummer, let's go. I don't remember your name, I'm sorry. After those first two shots, I decided to shoot through the drum kit with like the cymbals in there, and I really like the composition of this photo. The only thing I don't like about it is that the tom had this reflective paint, so the flash just kind of bounced right back into the camera, so it's super bright. The other opportunity you get on the stage is to get an interesting perspective of the singer when they turn around to face their own band. It's a cool perspective, and if you can get the crowd in there, it's pretty dope. The way the flash was, you can't really see the crowd that well, but I still love the posing. Similarly with this shot, I think if I would have gotten up a little bit higher and shot downward, you would have seen the crowd and this shot would have been a lot cooler, but it is what it is. On the next shot I went lower and you get to see more of the crowd, and just overall it feels more dynamic than just seeing a back of a person, you know? The other key to shooting live music is just all about the timing, and I know that's pretty obvious, but just a split second could go from a really cool composition to someone's elbow. I still kind of like the shot though. It's just got an energy to it. With 2 shots left, I decided to go back down to the pit. I wanted to just get some last shots of Davey with the crowd. I gotta say, I love this shot. I think this is my favorite one from the set. And last but not least, I took this shot, which has a little bit of that film fade on the end of it. I think it works for this photo. I know some people would probably hate that, but I think it's pretty cool. Overall, I had an absolute blast shooting on this camera. Even though I've only run 2 rolls of film through it and only successfully developed 1, I think it's safe to say that this is going to become one of my favorite film cameras. It just lets you make photos, it gets out of your way, it doesn't bog you down with anything, and it just kind of let me live in the moment and shoot a couple of shots. I also think having the zoom lens is a really cool feature on something that feels more or less like a point and shoot camera. I will definitely be shooting more, and you're gonna see more crap shoots with this camera, so I hope you like how these photos look. And on that note, which one's your favorite? This one's my favorite, but I wanna know what your favorite is. Anyway guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. Smash that subscribe button, make sure you give this video a share. And of course you can find me on Discord right here, Instagram, and most importantly, MySpace and Twitter. I never mentioned that I'm on Twitter, but I am on Twitter. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Oh, and I totally forgot to mention, you can buy a 4K Club t-shirt at the link below in the description. YouTube won't let me put the little merch shelf like other YouTubers because I don't have 10,000 subscribers, so click the link and support the channel. Thanks, bye! I mean, come on, look, have you heard my intro? Anyway, guys, this is my FujiFilm GA... I brought 2 rolls of... There's not exactly a science for the way...
Like and subscribe to Sweet Lou Photography, the man.